There's so much sex available that in order for him to take things to the next level, other needs of his need to be met. And now an emotional connection for a man is so important. Most men might not even admit this. They might not even know that this is a need of theirs. They might not understand how important it is for them to actually be with a woman that they feel connected to until they've met a woman that really understands them and has met this inner need of his. Emotional intimacy for a man is the ability to be close to a woman and to be intimate with a woman without any sort of sexual intercourse. It is intimacy in language and communication and in closeness and emotional sharing that a man finds really captivating in a woman. What most women are doing wrong in relationships is they are no longer embracing their womanhood or their femininity in relationships with men. In fact, even before a relationship with a man, they're behaving in the ways that a man would behave in his player days or in his toxic masculine. And women are behaving this way because they're looking for love, connection, and adoration, which makes sense and it's fair and valid. The ways in which they're going about to get these needs met are counterintuitive to actually getting their needs met, because men don't function in that way with women if they really want to fall in love. The way in which a man falls in love is counterintuitive to the instinctual aspects of what a woman is doing in the modern day, because women have lost their femininity. Modern women are moved into survival quite a bit, and they're exhausted and they're in this rat race and are functioning in their masculine energy quite a bit, and not even in their healthy masculine energy, but in their toxic masculine energy. And so in relationships, because they're not getting their needs met, they're moving into relationships with men in much the same way. In this video, I want to get into one of the biggest mistakes that women are making with men and what they don't understand about men. I'm here to teach you more about yourself and to help you gain awareness, strategies without the inner work or without awareness, because they simply don't work with healthy men. If you function as a man in a relationship or during courtship, a man will like it because men are driven to meet their physical needs. They're driven to procreate. So we don't want to be mad at men for that. It's just a core function of men. With this in mind, you function as a man would in dating or when he's hunting, which is looking for someone to procreate with. You're not going to be able to get the love and adoration, because what a man really wants is a woman that is soft and is in her feminine. And a man is not able to connect with women that aren't able to meet this need that they have, which is to be this like strong masculine provider and hero for a woman. Every man has this within him, even if he doesn't really know that he does. Oftentimes it just takes like the right woman to bring this out in him. Now, when a woman is functioning as a man in courtship, how that looks is she's taking the leadership role in the initial phases of dating. And it doesn't even have to be the initial phases of dating. It could be into courtship. It should be a few months. Courtship is not just a week. It's consistency over a period of time. And it's a man showing up in his masculine energy for a period of time. And I would say at least 3 months, and it is paced. So we don't need to rush courtship. If it's rushed, it's not courtship, that's trauma bonding. And we really want to look at the energy in which we're coming into relationships with, because if we're coming into a relationship from a space of insecurity and I don't feel good, then we're naturally going to attract that same thing back. And so when a woman is approaching men with this like hunter mentality and she's looking to lock a man down because she's not getting her needs met from herself, because we always want to meet our own needs first, and when we don't meet our own needs, we're naturally going to look for someone else to meet our needs. What happens is a man checks out. And so men don't bond with women through sex or through physical closeness that is geared to sexual pleasure. Once a man has fallen in love, sex is a way to bring a man closer to that woman, and it's a way that a man expresses his love for the woman. Earlier on, when a man hasn't met you, even if his instinctual drive is to procreate, that comes from his DNA and his own encoding, that he's driven to meet women to procreate and even for sexual pleasure. If a woman meets this need of his, what happens is right away that rush that he gets from getting this like need met goes away. So let's just say the dopamine fix. This need gets met and immediately he checks out. He hasn't developed enough closeness with her that allow him to want to continue to progress that relationship. And even if he does keep coming back, the reason he's coming back likely is because he wants to get this need met, and he's going to want to get that met, if not from her, then from another woman. What happens with men is, in terms of them falling in love, and why a lot of men maybe seem avoidant now or seem harder to lock down or don't seem as interested, is because the availability of sex on the internet and a woman just giving herself away is so prevalent now that a man doesn't really have a desire to settle down or to meet a woman and marry her, because first of all, there's so much sex available that in order for him to take things to the next level, other needs of his need to be met. And now an emotional connection for a man is so important. Most men might not even admit this. They might not even know that this is a need of theirs. They might not understand how important it is for them to actually be with a woman that they feel connected to until they've met a woman that really understands them and has met this inner need of his. Emotional intimacy for a man is the ability to be close to a woman and to be intimate with a woman without any sort of sexual intercourse. It is intimacy in language and communication and in closeness and emotional sharing that a man finds really captivating in a woman. And this is why when I talk about feminine energy and feminine energetics, I always say that feminine energy is not the energy of being saved, because men that are healthy in their masculine energy are very ambitious and are likely educated. They have things going on in their own lives. And so naturally, they're going to also be attracted to a woman that has those same traits. We are attracted to those that carry the same sort of traits and values and characteristics that we do. And we're very attracted to people that have qualities that we have not yet integrated within us. And so a feminine woman will be very attracted to a man that's very strong, not because she doesn't have strength within, but because she possesses strength, but he possesses strength in a different way, possesses confidence in a different way. A feminine woman is not naturally confident. It's something that she builds within her over time. In my inner work course, I give you tools on how you could build your inner self. And in Secrets of the Feminine Woman, I go into her, which is your inner child, and building and nurturing that part of yourself, because femininity is the integration of the masculine. When you develop this innate relationship with yourself between the masculine and the feminine, you're creating a relationship of intimacy within yourself. And naturally, then you'll be able to do that when you're with a man. Most of us have not learned how to do this and are, let's say, surface level or very shallow. And so if you don't know how to do this within yourself, you're not going to be able to know how to do this with a man. And a man is definitely not going to know how to do this, because men are not taught to be with their feelings and be emotionally connected to women. They're not taught that. They're taught to detach and be strong and be out in the world and be in their head. And so a truly feminine woman is going to help a man come into his body. And that is what makes a man start to fall in love, because he realizes that when he's with her, he's not in his head up thinking about what he needs to be doing tomorrow or what to take for lunch the next day or what his gym routine is going to be. He's not in his head. When he's with her, he's so engrossed in being with her, and that feels really good for a man. And now when this is built up over time, meaning that a man just doesn't experience all of what a woman has to offer on one date, because again, that's not healthy. If a woman is trying to emotionally connect with a man on the first date and she's rushing it, she's like telling him about her past and getting into all of her previous trauma, which, by the way, this is not emotionally connecting, this is emotionally dumping. But let's say she's doing this like earlier on because she's trying to establish a connection with him. That is not an emotional connection that a man is looking for. In fact, that's going to feel very heavy to a man. So what's going to happen is initially you're going to be very light. You're going to know yourself. You're going to be very secure with yourself. And you're going to be going on dates with the intention of meeting men. And it's going to be fun for you. And over time, this bond that you develop with this man is going to deepen. But earlier on, the way that you build this emotional attraction with a man is being very present. And so you don't want to be in your head and think about, well, what should I ask him and what should I talk about? Instead, you want to be very present on the date. You want to be in your body. And how you can be in your body is notice when you're in your head. And so if you're having a conversation in your head while you're with someone, or you're having a conversation with him and your thoughts are going, catch that, which is the awareness, and come back to yourself, meaning come back to your body, realize where you are, and now connect with him, make eye contact with him and connect with him and show actual interest in him and what he's saying. What you can also do to build emotional attraction at that point is share with him what your interests are. And what men find really attractive in women is a woman that has interests outside of, let's just say, a relationship, and she has energy and passion about that subject. Femininity and feminine energy is energy. It is not rigidity or a woman trying to be perfect. It's a woman that really knows herself, is confident in who she is, and is able to express who she is just in her beingness. Her beingness makes people feel alive. And that is what you want to practice with men. Now, as time goes on and these moments increase with a man, his desire to be with you is going to increase. He's going to start thinking about you more and more, and he's going to naturally want to see you again. And when you're not together and he's noticing that his thoughts keep coming back to you, that is when he's going to start falling in love with you. Without his thoughts going back to you and without this entire process being paced out, that means it shouldn't be that you meet a man and then you have all these messages with him, like 0 to 100 overnight. A man's not going to fall in love that way. It might be a short-term relationship. You might notice that you guys get into a relationship, it's hot and heavy, but I teach about long-term attraction, and long-term attraction does not happen overnight. It takes time to build. I hope you enjoyed this message. Please let me know what you learned from this. If you want to speak with me about your specific situation, you can book a call with me. If you have a quick question about a situation you're dealing with, you can also book an email session and I'll get back to those generally within 24 to 48 hours, and get the inner work course. It'll change your life, and the books are also a very great resource as well. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.